Greetings and salutations. Second Star right back with some more Raid Shadow Legends. And today we're going to be going over the Myrmidon. He was one of the rares that Plarium dropped along with the other cool Battle Pass rares. Grave Chill Killer, Frozen Banshee, Coffin Smasher. All fantastic rares. Some of them are even endgame worthy. Myrmidon kind of belongs on that list, right? Maybe not totally endgame for reasons I'll get into later, but to build up in the interim as you're pushing through content, really solid champion, and I will go over that in a second. First, I want to talk about his mythology, right? The Myrmidons came from Greek mythology, of course. Okay, so Hera, goddess of all goddesses, right, was upset with the island of Aegina because they were named after one of Zeus's lovers, and she was not having that. Hera was not pleased, sent a plague down to kill everyone on the island, as you're wont to do when you're upset with the name of something, right? So everyone's dead. The king survives, and he happens to be the son of Zeus. So he's like, Zeus, what are we going to do here? How are we going to repopulate my island nation here? So Zeus looks down and says, hey, the ants are still alive. So he takes the ants and makes the ants people. That race of people is called the Myrmidons. So that's where they came from. They retained their ant qualities. They were very powerful, fierce, hardy. Achilles was super impressed with the Myrmidons, and he brought them to Troy to fight in the Trojan War, and they wore brown armor to celebrate and pay homage to their former antness. Right, so that's the Myrmidons. It's kind of cool that Plarium here gave the Myrmidon model brown armor. It's a little bit of a hat tip to mythology, so good job, Plarium, on that. Maybe the Griffins could have been ants too. That would have been kind of cool, but Griffins also popular in Greek mythology, so we'll let it slide, and we'll just go with the brown armor as being the reference. I still like it. It's kind of cool. All right, so before we get into the meat, if you'd please throw me a like if you're enjoying what you're watching. I would certainly appreciate it. The YouTube algorithm will appreciate it even more. I don't know why they make it such a popularity contest. I'm sorry, but they like to see likes, so I'm asking. Also, if you're enjoying what you're watching, please subscribe. 86% of my viewers are just non-subscribers, so if you want to see more, please hit subscribe and notify if you want, and every time I put one of these out, which means every time I have enough silver, I'll put one out, and we'll have some more content to enjoy, hopefully. I would certainly appreciate it. Also, I'll put a link to the Discord in the description. You can join. We can talk about movies, music, clan bosses, whatever. I like to chat, so that'll be fun. Let's get into it. Okay, so Myrmidon, like I said, he is an Ally Protect champion. A lot of the Ally Protect rares are not very good. This is a really good iteration. Probably the best version of Ally Protect rare they can make without making it epic. All right, so Bone Splitters is A1. This one, this is what made me unsure about this champion when I was first going over the new champions. Enough people asked me to do a review on him, so I did, and I'm glad I did, because as kludgy as this A1 looks, it hits hard enough to make up for it. Alright, so attacks one enemy, 20% chance of placing a provoked debuff for one turn if the target has a higher max hit points than the champion. Okay, so that's what I thought was weird. It's if his signature move is Ally Protect, you want more hit points, but you want to find a sweet spot now to provoke, right? It just seems like an unnecessary thing to do. My advice is just ignore it. It's only a 20% chance anyway, and it takes 8 books to make it viable, so I would not even worry about it, right? Don't worry about the provoke. If it happens, it happens, and it's great. It's just the damage is based on his defense. Make his defense high. Hits really hard. It's worth it. Okay, Disarmed Sweep. Again, this one also hits really hard, and it's an AoE. Attacks all enemies, 60% chance of placing 25% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. So yeah, kind of sucks that it's the low version of decreased attack, but it hits really hard, like I said, and what's better than CCing a mob or decreasing their attack or whatever? Killing them. That's even more effective, all right? And that's what, this skill is adept at doing that. It's pretty impressive. It's on a 4-turn cooldown that you can get down to 3 turns. I only booked to get in their midst down because I was thinking that's the signature move. That's what I'm concerned about. But if I was going to bring this guy up anymore, I would consider putting the books in him. I just would, and you'll see why. It's a pretty hard-hitting skill. All right, finally we get to the A3, in their midst. Places a 50% ally protection buff on all allies for 2 turns. A lot of rares don't do all allies. They usually just pick 1 or 2, and that's it. Places a 15% continuous heal buff on this champion for 2 turns. Granted, he's only healing him. He's not really healing anyone else, but he's the one who's taking the damage during those hits, so I guess in a way that makes sense. 6-turn native cooldown, get it down to 4 turns with 2 books. Not a bad deal. He also has a 20% defense aura in dungeons, which is also pretty useful. Alright, so Masteries, I did get the first 2 tiers, a little bit of hardiness, like his ant brethren, and a little bit of accuracy to, if you're going to only have a 20% chance to land the provoke, may as well, try to have it not get resisted, right? I do not like the way his artifacts are set up right now. He's set up here in a taunting set, which I did not like. I thought, with the A2, being an AoE and he had a provoke, it would make sense. Maybe I can have, 2 skills of provokes on it. It doesn't really. Maybe it's my gear. Maybe I just have a bad taunting set. I did take it off my snorting thug, so maybe that's the part of the problem. This is not very good gear, but I didn't like it, right? I didn't like the outcome. I did like what I had previous to this, and so if you look at his stats now with the taunting set, not very impressive, right? All very, very mediocre. But I had everywhere here where I have a taunting set, I had a defensive set before, and it was a pretty decent, 2 decent defensive sets. If I can find that clip of it. So here we go. 20,000 hit points. Attack doesn't really matter. Defense 3,100, almost 3,200. Really nice defense. Speed is slow, but I wanted him behind the other debuffers. Yes, he has a debuff on his A2, but it hits hard enough where killing them is even better, right? 63% crit, not bad for this champion at this level with this archetype, and crit damage the same, not bad. It's under 200%, but 165 does the job quite nicely, I must say, at this level. Let's jump into Ice Golems 13. The first farming level, this first one you get 6-star gear. Everyone here is level 50s. All right, so let's just watch real quick before I blab more about it. Okay, so we got all our buffs up. And he casually does 80,000 damage and kills the entire wave 1. I was not expecting that, but he does some really, really decent damage. I'm pretty pleased. Okay, so let's watch him here. This A1. Watch this. The one who's attacking right now. Keep an eye on her when he attacks next. Boom. All right, so he did 23,000 damage. Like out of nowhere. So he has a really strong A1 too, especially when it's buffed. It can get amazing. Also unbuffed, it's weird because like there he hit for 13,000. His damage spread is super wide. I don't know why that is. I don't know what the secret sauce is that goes behind everything, but it's weird. He'll hit for anywhere between 6,500 to 30,000. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, there's buffs in there too. I know that, but occasionally he just hits hard out of nowhere. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, and as you can see, the team comp is pretty much. Let's see, there's the low hit. It's only at 7,000. The team comp is such that it's kind of built to support him, right? We have AoE heals, speed, and crit damage from Hexweaver. We have revives, which I'm going to need right now from Gorgorab, and some additional speed too. There we go. Warlim is giving us buffs, crit damage, buffs and buffs, a little bit of strengthen, and of course Dark Elaine is built for this dungeon, right? Every time she gets frozen from that frigid vengeance, she responds with an AoE attack. It's pretty badass. Dark Elaine is just kind of made for this. Okay, so let's see. I think you have a pretty good enough idea of what he's doing here. Let's skip to one that I manualed. Is this it? Yeah, here, well, that's not the best version of it. Okay, so here is wave 1. I got all my buffs. I also put in a Dracomorph, which is definitely overkill for this stage, but I just wanted to see that he has the defense down and the weaken, and he has the increased crit damage, increased attack, increased crit rate. So let's see what he does to this wave. No, he just casually does 200,000 damage. Not a big deal. Again, this champion's A2 is pretty good. And yeah, my gear isn't bad, but it's not the greatest gear. I have 2 6-star pieces, and one of them's a speed piece. Not really contributing a whole lot. So, like I said, that A2 is pretty deadly. His A1 can sometimes hit for 30k too. The damage potential is super, super interesting, which is why I showed you this one over here, which is him doing 400,000 damage after I've manualed through. And this is actually without Dracomorph. This is just the same team comp that I had before, but I manualed it just so that Myrmidon was hitting with all buffs, max buffs every single time, or as often as I could. 400,000 damage. Better than Dark Elaine, who's built for this dungeon, and she's not badly geared. So, you know, I'm pretty impressed with Myrmidon. He's done things that I just did not expect to happen from this rare. I did not bring him to 6 stars for one reason, and might sound a bit harsh, but here's how I think about it. Here's how I feel about it, and maybe you'll agree, maybe you won't. I think that the first AoE ally protect or all ally protect champion they get that's epic will be better than Myrmidon. I just, you know, his stats are fine, right? But they're not epic stats. And I think that all of the ally protect champions that are epic just have better kits. I think they're just designed a little bit better. They're a little bit better than Myrmidon. I can't say necessarily what their damage output is. Skull Crusher can, you know, hit for 60,000 from his base attack, right, when he's loaded up with defense. And so, you know, I just think that I'd rather have a Skull Crusher than a Myrmidon. I'd rather have a Jerrig than a Myrmidon. I just think that you'll get him to 60, and you'll help him progress, but as soon as someone drops for you, he's going to go back in the vault, right? Or maybe you'll have 2. Maybe you can run with 2. A Myrmidon and a Jerrig. A Myrmidon and a Skull Crusher. That wouldn't be so bad. That wouldn't be so bad, right? To have 2 different ally protects. Just have to, you know, juggle their speeds. But that's why I didn't 6-star mine, right? From what I had, it's a little bit late in the game for people who have been around for a while, for him to really value add. But I think that if you're newer, I think if you don't have one better, if you're free to play, whatever, Myrmidon is a really solid choice. He can help keep you alive, and he does some great damage. You know, you saw it yourself. He can really bring the heat. I'm super impressed. Really solid rare. Good job playing him for with the last wave of rares that you had during the battle pass. They were so good. Keep that up. I really like to see these rares get some use in the game, and Myrmidon is a winner. You know, he's good. Maybe not all the way to the end game, but he can really help you get through that mid-level content. Okay, so thank you. I appreciate it. I gave you my spiel earlier about the likes and the comments and the Discord and the subscriptions and everything. So if you still haven't done that and you've gotten all the way to the end, I appreciate it. Man, thank you so much. You guys take care. I have a screaming headache and I'm going to go to bed, but I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.